What things do guys do to impress girls that make them cringe? This might just be me, but talking about how much you work out. Sometimes it's not even subtle. In the middle of a conversation about Harold and Kumar, please don't shout, "And I can bench press like 130 pounds. I just thought you should know." Also, sending a friend over to talk to me for you. I thought that sort of thing would stop well after high school. I'm amazed how many guys my age still do this. Shyness can be sweet, but really? I'm not going to eat you. Also, please don't tell me that, for a girl, I'm actually really cool. Oh, and guys, I know that's not a lot of weight. That's just a random example. I have no idea if the last guy who said that actually said 130 pounds or not. I'm exaggerating. Sheesh. When I didn't have a 360, I played the Mass Effect series at the rec center at my school. In the heat of a battle in ME2, this bespectacled young man sits next to me and informs me that I'm using my sniper rifle wrong. It's okay though, because he's here to help. Actually, people have paid him for his video gaming advice before, so I'm lucky to get it for free. As if that weren't obnoxious enough though, he talked all the way through the cutscene where Legion joins your party. Constant sexual talk. I'm quite open to flirting, sexy talk sometimes, but it doesn't have to be a part of every single conversation. One time a guy was showing me some pictures he took on his phone. As he's scrolling, tons of nudes from other girls pop up in his camera roll. Like, WTF, dude. This is our first date. I don't want to see sketchy pictures like that. At least save them to another album. When they try to impress me with their knowledge without taking my own into consideration. For example, this guy recently tried hitting on me in a parking lot. He then started giving me bad car advice, and it was obvious that I knew more than him about mechanics. I'm a grad student. I've had guys try to explain my own research systems to me. My mathematical models in disease ecology. My next degree will be biology, but I have a math degree. I use a lot of differential equations and dynamical systems. A lot of guys I talk to about it see me as a big-eyed bio major who's intimidated by math and try to help me understand my own questions. Come to art school. We're almost proud of the fact that we have no idea what you're talking about. Yes, the cliché of academic young men trying to lecture women on systems that the women themselves created is actually a very common one, especially on Twitter. Do better, supposedly educated men. Immediately bragging or showing off within 5 minutes of conversation. That includes how much you make, your job, etc. One guy at a bar last week grabbed my arm to shout in my ear, "I had cancer when I was a kid." Yeah, don't do that. Tell me how many girls they've slept with. Most of the time they're lying, and if they aren't, then ooh. Eggplant pics. I'm 37, on OkCupid, and 2 days ago a guy tried to send me one a day after we'd exchanged phone numbers to arrange a date. He's in his late 30s or early 40s. Seriously, dude, we haven't even met. What the frick? When they bash on women, it literally makes no sense, but it's so common. Especially an ex. So tacky. No, I didn't ask about her. And no, I don't care how much of a loose woman you think some other girl is. If you bash other women, chances are you speak in a derogatory manner about me to your buddies. Discuss their muscles, their sexual prowess, how much they can drink before puking, how much they drank last night before they puked. But, the gun show. Does anyone know a plumber? 'Cause these pipes are about to burst. Start rejection flex. Want to see how many push-ups I can do? Sit on my back and hold my protein shake. I actually saw a guy do this, and it worked. The girl loved it. The guy was me. I'd try this, but I don't think 0 is an impressive number. Trash talk my significant other as if that will make me change my mind and hop on your eggplant instead. I once had a guy ask me about my boyfriend. When I finished describing him and our relationship, he took a beat and then said, "He sounds like a great person. Why don't you dump him and go out with a 0? It didn't work, but I gave him points for making me laugh a little. "Hey baby, have you ever hit rock bottom?" He wore a shirt with 2 arrows pointing to his biceps that said, "Welcome to the gun show." Cringe and laugh. I have a shirt with 2 arrows pointing to my biceps that says, "Obama can't take these guns. How hard did your panties hit the floor?" Flaunting their wealth. I'm sure that's a turn-on for some girls, but for me and most people I know, it just screams D-bag. These are the same guys who whine about how all the women they date are gold diggers. No crap, dummy. To clarify, there are so many responses asking what I mean by flaunting. It's not douchey to have money or to spend money on nice things. It is douchey to brag about how much money you make and the nice things you own, to make a big show of spending your money so everyone can see how rich you are, or to act as though being wealthy somehow makes you better than those around you. I'm a college student, so when I see guys doing this, I assume 90% of the time it's their parents' money anyway, which makes it seem even more pathetic. I flaunt my Costco membership because it's my life's greatest achievement. Am I safe? I wouldn't date a guy for his money, but a Costco membership, I would genuinely consider it. I may have detracted a little from serious points, but in fairness, the banter going on underneath all of the posts is very self-effacing and good-natured. Crazy driving. Maybe once I've known you for a while and understand that you have total control of your car, I'll be more comfortable with you driving fast and reckless. But until then, showing me how you can drift around a corner just makes me think you're being reckless with my life. Please stop. The biggest one for me is lying about things he's into just because I said I was into those things. If you've never seen Blade Runner, for example, don't say you have seen it just because it's my favorite film. I can always tell when they're lying about this, and I don't think it's sweet. Another thing is demanding to pay for everything. I appreciate when guys pay, but I like to pay once in a while too. This isn't the 1950s, and I have a job, so let me treat sometimes. I want to clarify that I do appreciate being treated to drinks, dinner, etc. Who wouldn't? It's only when I offer to pay and my date refuses to allow this when I cringe. I don't think this behavior is super common, but I have experienced it with at least 2 separate guys. Just my preference, and it makes me feel good to be able to treat my date sometimes. I once went on a second date with a guy who came to pick me up. I live in apartments and try to be super considerate of my neighbors all the time. As soon as I get in his car, he starts revving his engine super loud. A, I am not impressed by that whatsoever, and B, I'm sure none of my neighbors appreciated the noise either. This was our last date. This goes right along with speaker systems in a car. Please don't blow my eardrums out listening to your crappy music on my first date. When they say, I could be with any girl right now, but I chose you. God bless you. Oh my God, so blessed. When guys give me a resume or tell me why I should date them. I'm real buff, I'll treat you real nice, I'll make lots of money, and I'll buy you gifts. Like I'm some sort of shallow, brainless twit that is looking to hire a boyfriend. I dropped my monster condom for my magnum dong. I don't like loud, obnoxious guys. Sure, if I were at a bar and you're drunk and yelling, that's one thing. But to just be loud and obnoxious at all times embarrasses me. If we're getting coffee, the people at the other end of the patio shouldn't know what we're talking about. Went out with a dude I got set up with. He seemed okay, albeit not my type. But I'm like, whatever, we'll eat and have an alright time. Nope. We get to the restaurant and as soon as our Latina waitress leaves, he starts spewing all this garbage about Mexicans, saying they're lazy and that he wanted a new server. Awful. I looked at him and went, Lamento que te sientas así, and broke out of there. Translated, I'm sorry you feel that way. In conclusion, racism does not make me wet. Racism, not good. Okay, I'm gonna need more notes. Physical assault on the first date, yes or no? Holy crap, I'm so happy I don't do any of these things. 0 out of 0 is still undefeated. Equating their worth or validity as a human being with their car in any way whatsoever. Its make, its model, its size, etc. I once had someone introduce themselves to me as, I'm so-and-so, and I drive a Lamborghini. He was bright, intelligent, charming, and successful, and didn't have a clue about himself. If a guy is trying to impress me, I'm probably too busy being impressed that they're making the effort. Having said that, the last guy to chat me up kept bringing up the fact that he's read all of the Game of Thrones books, and so he's never surprised by the TV show. I failed to see why this was such a huge point of pride, but I guess literacy is never a bad thing. Well, there's our very low benchmark for the evening, gentlemen. Basic literacy. I once had a guy tell me way too many giraffe jokes, but I forgave him because he was hot. I try and avoid giraffe jokes, not just on dates either, because I'm always worried the joke will be way over someone's head, and then I would feel bad. You son of a B-word. 1. For some reason, at the university I go to, it's a really big thing for guys to brag about how broke they are. This is almost always at the bars when they're spending copious amounts of money on drinks. Oh man, I'm so broke. I have like no money, and that's why I'm drinking hams all night. It's not impressive, and coming from a low-income background, it tees me off. No, you're not broke, and if you are, it's only because you're walking around in expensive clothes and going to bars every night. People who are actually dirt poor do not brag about it. Why is this a thing to brag about? 2. Trying to act like they know more about a subject than they really do. People know when you're bullcrapping. I respect people for more humbly saying, "I don't really know very much about that, so I can't comment." In the same vein, acting like there's no possible way I could know more about math or science or politics than them because of my chest and hoo-ha. 3. Wow, girls who look like you aren't usually this smart. Good for you. Why would you want to worry your pretty little head with grad school? Negging is not a good strategy for picking up quality women. Move on to the fall-over drunk ones who are barely coherent enough to notice how awful you are if you want to continue these actions. Pictures of your junk. You're gross. Thank you. Unless I ask for one, I don't want your junk in my inbox. I think some men love their eggplants and want to show it off as if we give a crap. I love my member, but I love pooping too, and nobody sends vines of that. The whole, "but I'm a nice guy" act. If you were really a nice guy, you wouldn't have to tell that. There was this guy at my college for a semester that would lift his shirt and show girls his third nipple. We all thought he had Asperger's, so it was really painful to watch. Was his name Andrew? My friend likes to do that at the bar, and the guy with the glass eye always one-ups him and takes his eye out. I seriously want to hang out at this bar. Constantly call me sexy, beautiful, etc. when we've just met. Example, "Hey, what's up? I think you're sexy as hell. We should hang out." It makes me feel like a piece of meat and it makes you look shallow. Follow me around the gym and strategically place yourself where I can see you lift. I'm busy, bro. Also, to the guy who found it necessary to do one-armed rows at the foot of my bench with 100-pound dumbbells, you drop it on my foot and I will end you. Not impressive, annoying as frick. Try to sound too intelligent in conversations or text by throwing an excess amount of uncommonly used words. Usually this happens discussing things I like, as if they're trying to one-up me on their knowledge of the topic or impress me with the fact that they like it too. Keyword here is excess. Large vocabularies are nice, genuine intelligence is obvious, but we can all spot those compensating, arrogant ones. Picking up a guitar during a party and playing Wonderwall. FYI, I'm not a girl, but I cringe when guys think that would actually impress a girl. Guys who say they're musicians or guitarists who oh so casually bring their guitars and play some annoying crap not very well. That drove me nuts in college and high school. I remember being really impressed when I started dating a guy who had never mentioned he was a guitarist until months in, and then when he played it, it wasn't to show off and he was also really good. I married that guy. When I'm at a party and a guitar comes out, it's no longer even up for debate whether this is cringe to do. In fact, for most of my friends and I, there's a very clear eye roll that goes around that room. As a woman of circa 30 with a big chest, I've seen a lot of these. Some of the things that guys think will impress me are truly bizarre, and I can only assume they're ideas they found in some Mars or Venus bullcrap and legitimized by women who act like impressionable idiots as part of their flirting strategy. General alpha behaviors. Yes, you may be stronger than me, but wrenching things out of my hands because "let man do the job," or telling me what I think or should think is not something that will get you under my skirt. Following up on that, aggression and hostility towards others, especially other men. You think I need protection? Okay, fine. You think you need to pound your chest and bare your teeth at every passing male? I'm out. Bad-mouthing other women. You may think that telling me about that one chick who was so ugly and fat will be hilarious, and will suggest to me that I'm not ugly and fat and we can laugh at her together, right? All it suggests is that you're an abrasive butthole. Also, sexism. Yes, there are men who think that dropping remarks like, "women should not be allowed to drive," will make me feel so awesome that despite their hatred for all that is female, they will stoop to interacting with me, or something, dunno. Bragging. If you're out doing cool stuff, I will want to hear about it. But cool stuff does not become cooler when you adopt a condescending, braggart tone. I have a friend who travels a lot, and he can always tell you what he saw and why he did think that particular spot was interesting. And he tells you how cool these places were, not how cool he is for having gone there. Whether you're skydiving or playing League of Legends, tell me how great that activity is, not how great you are. Speaking of negative behavior as if it were good, the fact that you got blackout drunk or do drugs or have beaten someone, have hurt someone, slept with a girl and never returned her calls, broken the law while driving, is not a good thing. Quit behaving as if it was a good thing. I can go on like this, but I think I'll stop. One-upping traditionally male interests. So, what did you get up to this weekend? Me. Nothing much, some video games, hanging out with my cat. What games do you play? RPGs mostly. I was playing Skyrim. RPGs are so lame, but I love gaming. I was playing COD with my buddies the other day, and it was sick. This is very annoying, but also just one-upping in general makes me angry. I went on a date with a guy who literally after I said anything, he stated how he was better, or that doesn't beat what happened to him type of thing. You think making me feel inferior is impressive, pal? It's not. At the end of the date, I said I'd say goodbye, but you probably do that better too. He laughed and asked when we could meet again. We never met again. Went on one date with a guy. He'd been an extra in some movie where he'd actually had a line addressed to the main character. Now, don't get me wrong, that's neat and we're seeing the movie after dinner for just that 15-second part. But the guy seriously couldn't talk about anything else unless it was how famous he is now or the autographs he thought he'd be signing after we watched it. He spent the entire meal talking about himself and this 2 days of his life. I only felt a little bad when we watched the movie and his scene had been cut. Tell me they're in the army or a marine, automatic turn-off. On the other hand, if they don't tell me and it comes up in conversation later, it's not a turn-off. I'm just used to the type that within 5 seconds of meeting them, you know what branch they are in and so on. Many in my comments are getting defensive and saying, "Oh, should I not tell you my profession then? It's my life, you're a B-word," etc. Remember, this thread is about what guys do to impress girls, so in that context is what I'm referring to. I can tell the difference if they're doing it to impress me or not. Don't worry. Hey girl, I've spent 4 years dodging bullets for your freedom. Navy radar operator. Milady? Ah, how fedorable. And now, just a quick intermission of comments from men reading the thread for advice. I solve all of these problems by not being able to talk to women in the first place. I'm perfect. Sounds like I just need to get over the whole approach anxiety and I should be set for a good time, judging from the stupid crap my competitors are pulling. Holy moly. Oh my god, the stories in this thread are making me sound amazing. Hello, ladies. Quick, guys, take down notes of everything not to do. I really hate it when the guy is spending a minute looking at his notepad in between every sentence he says. Walking up to a girl who is just relaxing and telling her to smile. Get the frick out of here. It's not cute or endearing. I don't really want to be with a man who's already correcting me and we aren't even acquaintances. Sod right off. Trying to be classy when it's time for adult fun times. It's just creepy. True story, my now husband and I were getting busy in the shower. He was giving me some finger action, and after checking out the goods, he blurted out, You're really starting to blossom." The muffin shop immediately closed its doors until further notice over that little chestnut. I really wasn't into screwing with my creepy uncle that night. Lately, the moron fest for me has been online dating. People with zero social skills. If I message someone, I damn well read their profile first. I try to find some common ground, ask profile-based questions. That seems like basic interaction 101. But so much, "You're really hot," one-liners. Boring. Or asking the random, pointless or ridiculous questions like, "What's your favorite color?" Well, that's a freaking essential starting point for a relationship, isn't it? If I say orange, we obviously can't go further. Or worse still, a really cringy attempt to be all random lols, questions about what we would do together in space with a unicorn and a cheese sandwich or something. Just no. WTF. Okay, this isn't that common, but I just have to throw it out there. What in the frick is up with guys lifting their shirts casually to show their stomachs, usually while licking their lips? I don't care if you have six-pack abs, that just makes you look stupid. Not to mention, it's usually done by guys that don't really have a great pack of abs. Just stop. Number 1. Negging. They assume that not only will it work, but that somehow I don't read books or use the internet enough to know why they're insulting me. It never makes you look good. It makes you look like a pretentious, misogynistic D-bag who gets dating advice from online forums, which assume women are inherently predictable and easy to target. Number 2. Telling me women who are as smart as me don't usually look like I do. Maybe women in graduate school aren't there as decorations. Number 3. Complaining about how crazy your ex or all of your exes were. Bad-mouthing your ex makes me think you have a poor choice in women and will also probably bad-mouth me when I'm not around. Maybe all of your exes are crazy, but the common denominator is you. Number 4. Continuously trying to make physical contact when I'm openly uncomfortable. I went out with a guy and we were supposed to meet a bunch of people for a law school dinner, and at the last minute he just asked me to go to dinner alone. Whatever, I went. All dinner long, he kept trying to get me to drink more, complained about his exes, and kept trying to play footsie with me until I was in a contorted position to avoid his feet. It was awful. Which reminds me, number 5. Do not pressure me to drink more. That's not only disrespectful, it comes off really creepy. When you subscribe, make sure to hit the bell to turn on notifications. Put the playlist on in the background to finish listening to all the stories, linked at the top of the description. And if you like Am I the Genius, give Am I the Jerk a shot, linked in the description too. Either way, thanks a lot for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.